It looks like the Trump administration will lift the ban for Huawei and US companies to work together, but notice I said it looks like. Samsung claims that they rushed the Galaxy Fold and are now testing it and going through a recovery period. And for those of you that had high hopes that the iPhone designs might change, we've got some CAD renders that say otherwise. I'm Jaime Rivera, and yes, this is the horrible face of jet lag. But we're back in the studio, that's a good thing. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals because, yeah, we're pretty much almost at Prime Day, and you know that things go crazy with Amazon in that particular way. But for those of you in the market for Amazon speakers, and I read the script and I'm like, yeah, I actually do want one. They're currently 57% off depending on which model you pick. I'm a huge fan of the Echo, I have to admit, so I do recommend them. You can learn more about them in the description. Now, let's talk about the future of Android Beam, which we know is dying on Android Q. And for those of you that were wondering exactly what sort of an alternative we have, apparently there will be a fast share service that's coming to Android and even to iOS. And the whole idea is that just like AirDrop works, where the connection begins through Bluetooth and then sends the file through Wi-Fi, apparently that's exactly the way that this service from Google is going to work. So stay tuned for that. I'm really looking forward to that. But obviously the biggest question is fragmentation. So many phones that are not going to have Android Q, and I hope that it's not dependent on Q for that to work. Now, for those of you that did not like the design of iPhones with that stove in the back and everything, we've been covering so many rumors, and apparently they are going to stay the way they are. We've got some CAD renders from trusted sources, and we even reported that there was a possibility that we didn't have a camera hub for the stove in the back. Apparently that's not going to be the case. If you look at these renders, you could totally see that there is a design for the protrusion, and I feel that it's going to look horrible. My God, yeah, a lot of people are already speculating that it's because Johnny Ive is leaving, and whatever the case, it could be. I don't know, man, but this looks bad. Now, let's move the spotlight over to Samsung and the Galaxy Fold. For those of you wondering about the future of this product, the company's mobile CEO, DJ Koh, just came on record and pretty much confirmed. He feels he rushed the Galaxy Fold to the market. They're currently testing it, and I like that in his whole statement and in the interview that he conducted, he was pretty much clear that he's thankful to reviewers for being able to discover so many things. Right now, apparently up to 2,000 devices are being tested with all the changes that they've been working on. They've discovered more things, and they're expecting to launch it pretty soon, but he doesn't provide dates or speculation over how close we are to that possible launch, so stay tuned. I'm really looking forward to it. I miss the Galaxy Fold, and I hope that they figure things out. And for those of you wondering about the future of Huawei, we've got a lot to talk about. Yes, I know there were news over the weekend. We covered some of it on the recap. We're going to continue here. Dates for the Huawei Mate X or the Mate 30, for example, are now emerging. Apparently, there is a possibility that the Mate X is going to launch in September. We hear the Mate 30 with a launch until December, but here's the thing, because the source of the news is pretty much everything that's happening with 5G in Russia, we're assuming that it's the 5G variant of the Mate 30 that's going to launch until December, and then we get the Mate 30 at some point within the fall, which is when usually the Mate lineup gets refreshed. Whatever the case may be, stay tuned, as obviously the Mate X particularly is the one device that's got a lot of us crazy. And finally, the hottest news of the weekend have to do with the Trump administration, the G20, and his statement over the future of Huawei and how relationships are going to continue between the United States and this company. Here's the thing, there was a lot of information on the news over, yes, the US is lifting the ban on Huawei. Well, it continues being in the entities list, so it's going to take some time. But the thing about it is, the statement from the Trump administration, from the president himself, is really what spread the news. According to the Washington Post, the POTUS will be meeting with US officials to ease the pressure on the Huawei ban. However, a formal lift on the ban has not happened. At the G20 summit, he said that companies will still supply Huawei with their products, as he claims that they are not a threat to the US and the advancements in Silicon Valley are great. When asked about selling Huawei products in the United States, he said they would have to save that for the end. The G20 summit is still happening and a lot of negotiations are going on, not only about Huawei, so we will update you on whatever things happen. Thing is, in today's question, obviously, as I just reported, we have the Mate 30 coming up, the Mate X. The biggest question is, I mean, if the ban lifts, would you buy a Huawei product after everything that's happened, or are you skeptical? Because in my case, I mean, this is proof. I mean, if they're lifting the ban, then I wouldn't worry. I'm actually even considering that the reviews that I had pending for Huawei, I should start working on them again after everything that's happened. Let us know if you want to see these reviews and your thoughts over if you would buy a Huawei product or not going forward. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know what you think. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to both our channels, English and Spanish, for more videos like this one. Also, follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and here are my personal handles as well for you to see how I test these phones. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.